This couldn't possibly be my life. Now sitting in a dirty, smelly bus station in Redemption, Wisconsin, trying not to glance at the clock yet again as I continued to wait for my chronically late Aunt Tilda. Ugh, dear Lord. My Aunt Tilda was a character. Crazy, lovable, chaotic. In so many ways, she drove me nuts. She was my complete opposite in just about every way, yet I had always felt a connection with her. She made me feel seen, despite, or maybe because of, her craziness. But I never felt like I could live with her. Talk about the odd couple. No way should I be about to move in with my nutty Aunt Tilda. People like me didn't go through the implosion of their lives and consequent upheaval of everything they've known while being forced to live with their relatives. I was a responsible adult, and responsible adults don't need to move in with their Aunt Tilda, or have their Aunt Tilda give them a job. That isn't how life works. If only I hadn't decided to take a closer look at that spreadsheet, then I wouldn't have realized something was off. If I had just left it alone, none of this would have happened. Emily! Aunt Tilda flung open the door of the station and beamed at me. Her bright orange hair sparkled in the sunlight and perfectly matched her orange-rimmed glasses. I'm so sorry I'm late. Traffic was dreadful. It's fine. I only just got here, I lied. I seriously doubted small-town Redemption was a snarl of traffic problems, but at that point, I didn't care. I was just relieved she remembered. I got to my feet and started to reach for the suitcase and duffel bag I had tucked under my feet. But before I could get my hands on them, Aunt Tilda grabbed them. I can take these if you want to get the rest. A tight knot seemed to settle in my chest. When I had first moved in with Jeff, my ex, he'd encouraged me to give away most of my belongings. He already had a fully stocked household, so why would we need duplicates of things like plates and towels? As usual, he sounded so reasonable, so I ended up selling or donating most of my belongings. I wondered if Jeff had always viewed me as simply a guest in his space, rather than an actual life partner. I gave my head a quick shake as I reached for the duffel bag. Enough of that. You don't have to do that. I've got them. Nonsense, Aunt Tilda said, trying to juggle both bags. Go get the rest of your stuff. A mental image of myself packing what few personal items I had, mostly clothes and bathroom products, flitted across my mind. This is all I brought. I braced myself for questions or condemnations, but Aunt Tilda just shrugged as she swung the duffel bag toward me. Smart thinking. Who wants to mess around with a bunch of luggage on a bus anyway? She started dragging the suitcase to the door, leaving me staring after her in shock. She paused at the door to glance back at me. Coming? I quickly closed my mouth and hurried after her, lugging the duffel bag. Hot, humid air immediately smacked me in the face as I stepped outside. I shoved a few strands of hair that were sticking to my cheeks back as I increased my pace. For an elderly woman, Aunt Tilda was surprisingly fast, even with my suitcase. Here we are, she sang out as she approached a light pink Cadillac that was taking up 2 spaces, thanks to a very crooked parking job. I stopped walking, my stomach twisting in on itself. You have a pink Cadillac? She grinned. I do. Isn't she a beaut? She patted the trunk lovingly. Oh no, this was getting worse and worse. I thought only Mary Kay beauty reps were able to get a pink Cadillac. Yep, isn't it wonderful? Was this the job Aunt Tilda had promised me, helping her with her multi-level marketing business? The idea of sitting in a kitchen surrounded by people I didn't know as I revealed the latest eyeshadow colors was making me break into a cold sweat. Are you selling Mary Kay? She popped the trunk and looked at me like I was crazy. Heavens, no! Shaking her head, she turned back to her overflowing trunk. I didn't move. If you're not selling Mary Kay, then how did you get one of their cars? She waved a hand airily at me. A friend gave it to me. And that's how I found myself standing in a parking lot in Redemption, with the noonday summer sun beating down on my head and sweat dripping off my neck, about to get into a pink Cadillac that I was half convinced Aunt Tilda had stolen from some nice Mary Kay lady.